Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL Milan.
Miss Walsh.
What's up, brother?
Hey.
As stated before we started recording, I don't think there'll be another time all season when we record not in the middle of a game week with all the fucking doubles and blanks and fixtures to be made up. It's just never going to happen again.
Yep. It's fun.
Here we are again.
Here we are again. I feel like my lighting is super fucked up right now.
No, you look good. You're bugging out?
There we go.
Oh, now it's moody. Yeah. That's
now-
good. That's clean. That's clean.
Oh,
This is YouTube only content right now, not audio content.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's the thought of over 2 weeks from now for the next game week is really disgusting.
Yeah.
It's an actual tragedy. We usually say 2 weeks, but it's actually a week and a half, but it feels like 2 weeks. And now it's over 2 weeks because international straight into FA Cup with a random Burnley Watford thrown in there. It's just horrible.
Yep.
So, we'll talk about what the week that was and probably skip our teams and shit because nothing we say will matter 2 weeks from
Who
now.
knows?
Yeah,
Before we even be here.
You just wildcarded. So
Yeah, I wildcarded.
I want to start with that. You want to maybe just read your team for people who don't know?
Yeah, I mean, basically my team was, a mess and before this week. So I was like going to wild card anyway, but I ended up, right now I only have 44 points, which is still like fine. I got a green arrow, but I still have Foster and João Pedro to go, but I have Foster, Ramsdale combo. Obviously I bench Ramsdale, so good job by me.
Lol.
Foster with a riddling. Love that. Defense, I have Walker and Cancelo, and then I have Trent. I have Dean and Nate Nori. I benched Dean this week, so that was smart. And midfield, I have Martinelli, Jota, Buendia, Bruno, and Kev. My forwards are Dennis, João Pedro, and Broja, and I have 4.4 in the bank, which my plan is to do Jota to Mo.
Right.
Whether or not that's still the plan remains to be seen. I am wondering about Bruno if I just got a little bit conned by him getting me so many points last week. That maybe not the best pick, but that's a problem for future. But overall, I just kind of pick the players I think are good and that I like, and hopefully I do well in fantasy.
Yeah, it's weird that 44 points is actually a really good game week. Top 10K average right now is 26.8.
Yeah.
Mug League average is 36.8. And you have two guys left.
Yeah, I have two guys left. Hopefully Foster doesns play, and it just Woy is just like Bachman Ultra. But
yeah, maybe Woy will treat you very nicely.
Yeah, as he always has. But obviously the big T tilt on this one is, Dennis was not in my team for 1 second until the double got announced, and I hate him. And it's the first week I've owned Dennis all year, but it just felt irresponsible to not have him on wild card. So I didn't even remotely consider captaining him. Neither did you. We saw we evaded that one. Yeah. So Captain Kev was big for both of us.
Huge.
But, I had João Pedro and Foster on every team, but they were on my bench, which would have, coulda, woulda, shoulda changed things. But, having the Watford players isn't too big of a problem. I'll just bench them, and
they're cheap and whatever. Yeah.
And I'll get rid of Dennis probably like now, almost immediately to either to someone. But overall, I like my team. I think I picked a good team, and I like my players. So I think I'll do good with this.
Yeah. And you're already up 100K with two guys left. And it's like, what are you going to do? Rammers 8, Dean 12, Villa probably shouldn't have kept it clean. Rammers, you got unlucky with the Foster COVID. It's just like, what are you going to do? When you have the better your team is, the more points you're going to bench. Is just straight up how it is. But I think the big one for both of us, like you said, was the Kev cap. I was just looking at the Mug League because I feel like, they're all relatively active managers in our mug league, and there's 35% Dennis cap, 22.5% King cap. You know,
I mean, yeah, King could. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, King could do the stuff. I could
a
still
broken
lose
clock
my
is
cup.
right twice a day.
Yeah, I could still lose my cup match if King, fucking hauls in the next game. But Kev 8 is just so massive in a low scoring week like this. To nail that was just so fucking huge. So yeah, I'm on 52. I'm all out because the only doubler I had was Dennis. Lol. Fat Green.
Arsenal clean,
dude.
White and Ramsdale.
White and Ramsdale have just been the greatest servants in my team that like ever imaginable. Like they have so many points in my team. I never really gave up on either of them. I just kind of run them out there when it's their time to shine, and they just do the things.
Yeah.
They've been fucking phenomenal. That's like the majority of my points. So it's Kev Cap. It's 8 from White, 8 from Rammers, 6 from Mount, 5 from Jota, and that's all my points.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna have a coughing fit.
Okay.
So is what it is. We're both titting a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think on my wildcard team, like the biggest call I think was the third City player, and I landed on Walker. I just didn't, want to go there again with this like Foden or just another guy when we talked about on the My Life pod when Mahrez comes back and they're with Jesus, they're all fit. Jack, they have so many players for like 2 spots essentially, 3 spots or whatever.
And you couldn't have afforded Laporte, right? Without another downgrade. Yeah,
well, I mean, I could have. I have 4 whatever in the bank. I could have just done Laporte and figured a double hit for Salah for Jota later, but I wanted to keep that single swap available because I just was like, I also don't like Laporte. I think he sucks. Yeah. So, and I love Kyle. So even if I could have afforded it, I would have probably won Kyle anyway. So that's not even fair to do that to myself.
Yeah.
And I thought actually Walker was like maybe their best player in that game.
Yeah, he was really good.
I mean, he always does a few things that are a little like sus, but generally speaking,
that's why you love him.
Yeah, but generally speaking, he put in some good balls, and he could have had an assist or two. He was really lively on the right flank. I mean, Cancelo was a little bit more reserved, and I was really impressed by his performance. So I mean, he just had that huge long break, so I feel like he's just fit and fuck, ready to go. Yeah. So I just he's one of my favorite players.
He just
in the
runs
league,
so fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna skip the league updates as usual. Still the game to go, so whatever is pointless. One last thing. How's your cup game going?
I think I won.
Clean, just a clean win.
I don't know. I didn't check it again. I think I checked. I was like, oh, he captained Dennis, this fucking fool. So I think I'm up by like a bunch. I think he probably has like King or something, but I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, Vax. I'm against Vax. He captained King, so he basically needs King, goal, max bones, and he'll beat me. I'm up like 15. So if he gets an 8 there, he'll beat me. But he's King fucking sucks. So whatever. All right, let's go. A lot of interesting matches. Anywhere particular you want to start?
I mean, I think we need to start with the Watford situation just because that was the defining moment and game of the week.
Unbelievable.
Game week for fantasy,
I guess.
The
Sargent show, you mean?
The Josh Sargent show, that's what I meant. Yeah. I mean, it was just insane. I mean, it's, we've been there before with like Mane. Remember that we had like, I think we had Mane Cat when he got injured the first game of a double at one point. Like, have -1 and then to not only have -1, but then -2 and you get like doubling a negative.
Yeah, doubling a negative is one of the coolest things. The game is so cruel already.
I know.
And then they just do that to you too. I had the Gerrard, red against Man United, captain a negative. I've had tons of it.
You've done that before, yeah. But yeah, I mean, what can we say? Watford are a fucking bad team. So just because they play 2 games and the fixtures are good, it's just, I mean, this is the thing that, talk about a lot is, when are the doubles kind of like a little trappy.
Yeah.
And, they just played their last game. They didn't function at all and they sucked.
Against Newcastle.
So what gives you the confidence that they're just because they have two fixtures that are, of similar ilk with, kind of better defenses than Newcastle, like they're going to just score. Granted, Foden blank, Raz got 1 point. Everyone, Jota only got 5. He was, I guess, a candidate. Granted, there weren't, players that returned. Cancelo blanked, Trent blanked.
Yeah, pretty much everyone capped King Dennis, except, the rare Kev cappers like us.
But I feel like that's an opportunity to look at your process, though, because and it's not just saying this because, like, we didn't, right? Like, whatever. Like, but, there's a reason why we didn't captain them.
We didn't even talk about them.
Didn't need to. Didn't consider them.
It was not an option. It's captaining a player extremely out of form on a team extremely out of form and really, really bad. Just like not a thing that we really consider. Despite
it's bad. It's one thing like getting them in because they play 2 games. Right. Sure. But I don't know to captain. I guess it's sort of talking out of both sides of your mouth there. But if you think the point output's bad, and if you just look at it like it is a punt because they're bad, and maybe that's the way a lot of people thought of it. But it just felt like most folks were just like it's like automatic, like it's not even a question. Of course, it's like Dennis or King. It's like what?
Yeah, Dennis
they were overwhelmingly capped
in a while or looked good in a while. I guess not that long. In week 20, Josh King's absolutely terrible player. Terrible pick. I don't know. I don't have much to say. Watford were probably better for the majority of the game, and then I don't know. Norwich just kind of hung around and a little bit of blood in the water. Watford can't defend at all ever all season. They have such bad players, and Sargent just did a fucking mad thing, and they just melted down. They just completely broke down.
Yeah, the left back was I thought really bad. The new one they got.
Yep. And
that DM just was so slow. Like he was just so slow with the ball. He was just out of position like all game. They were just just getting done on the counter to Norwich of all teams. Yeah.
One thing I was thinking about is they just spent combined 15 mil or something on 4 or 5 new players. I guess one of them's free because it's from Udinese Pozzo shit. But they clearly knew that Ranieri was maybe gonna get sacked. If all it took was 1 game, then he was on the hot seat. They were really bad. It's I don't know. It just doesn't add up. If the manager's I need this, and they're like, cool, we're going to spend all this money, and then you're out.
Nothing they do
makes sense.
This is a fucking joke club.
They're such a joke.
The way they run I don't even know how you are a fan of this team. It's there's nothing to...
There's nothing to hold on to.
Conglomerate. I don't even know. It's just, they're all pieces of meat. And they just churn them around. And
basically,
they get rid of them. They send them to Udinese. They send the players from Udinese to them. And they have the other team.
Awful.
They have a few. They send them to their Spain team. It's just they're pieces of pawns that move around and they suck ass. Yeah. And they have a new leader every 3 months. It's what kind of fucking shit is that?
At least Norwich are defined yo-yo. They have an identity. We're going to go down and be the worst team in the league. And then, you know what? We're going to come back up with this exact same players.
But we play this way.
We play this way. We're not going to spend money. We're not going to be in a hole. We're not going to run some deficit. We're not going to do a Fulham type of spend 100 mil, whatever. We know who we are. It's so much easier to like. They keep most of their players. They keep the guys that the fans like, whatever. There's a relationship there. Yeah, Watford are just such a fucking nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. If King fucks my cup match, that's going to feel so bad. Oh, my God.
Well, we'll see if they get Boy, and I don't even know. I really don't want that to happen, but you're saying it's going to happen. So
I don't know. It was a Fabrizio tweet. I don't know. He's usually right.
Yeah, okay. We'll see about that.
What about Man U? They kind of fucking manhandled West Ham. Obviously the late winner, but West Ham were held to actual nothing that game.
Yeah, they were feeding off scraps.
Yeah, and they just.
I mean, but they manhandled them without doing anything, though.
Yeah, they basically. It's funny because the XG looks really positive, and it was still, regardless of what I'm about to say, probably the best performance under Ralph, I think. But it was like 1.7 to 0.3 XG, but the Rashford chance was 0.94. So it's like, oh my god, that's like that's full fucking
Raz,
pit right there.
Raz might even finish that.
Yeah, well, that's a stretch,
maybe
but
not. He might be the 06.
Yeah, Hardly Boys said weekly Bruno check in. Is it okay to hold one more week for Burnley? Is there time to sell and get a backup to Mo? And get back up into Mo. And then Hamdog said, what are your thoughts on Man U's current system? Do you think it resembles one similar to when Bruno was an FPL robot point shitting machine as discussed in the pre-cog? Yeah. Can we hang our hat on him like the old days?
Yeah, I mean, what did you make of Bruno? I mean, I was watching it through my, I own Bruno lens, but what did you make of that performance from him?
I thought for most of the game, I don't think they had really another good chance in the entire game other than the winner and the last kick of the game winner. There was that one Bruno cross that Ronaldo probably should have scored that I don't think he actually got ahead to. That would have been a big chance if he had gotten onto it. So, the numbers and whatnot would have looked better there. But yeah, I mean, we've been saying it since he moved away from the 4-2-2-2 that it's definitely good for Bruno. I still think it's good for Bruno, and I do think he'll get points. I don't think he'll ever be an 11.7 midfielder without pens, though. I just don't think that's in his game. Yeah. I mean, he's never even hit double-digit goals, without pens. What are we talking about? That's like Mane's worst season is more goals than Bruno's ever scored in open play.
Yeah, I mean, I think his positioning was good for fantasy, though. Again, I mean, he was free. He was roaming. He did create some chances, and he was clearly he was central to any good thing they were doing. They used to be under Ole when Bruno was the fantasy machine. I agree with you about the value aspect of his price tag, but I also think we need to remember that this is game week 23 and we have team values of 100 and 300 for whatever.
Totally.
And, just because he's performing maybe more like a 10-5 or 9-5 asset doesn't mean he's not going to still get returns.
Absolutely.
I mean, they do have, that was the tough game, the West Ham game. And then in the near term, they have Burnley, Southampton, Leeds, and Watford coming up. And then it gets harder. And then it's probably just not worth it to hold him for tough fixtures. But I'm nervous still about.
He's going to get points. As you read those fixtures, and I agree with literally everything you just said. I really do think they keep playing the system. He keeps being in these positions at Burnley, home Southampton, at Leeds, home Watford. I think points are coming. And so I think you can hold him with confidence. That I guess the difference between old Bruno and this Bruno is I would not hold him when the fixtures get bad.
Right.
I have no interest. But, for a short run, he could get a lot of points in those games. He could double return in any of those games. So I like that. Yeah,
I mean, I am still concerned about the team's performances, though. I mean, it's very clear to people who watch them that Ron shouldn't be playing.
Yeah,
and they're diddling with the wings. Alonga's a child, so he looked didn't look good he looked good 2 games ago. Did not look good against West Ham, which should that's what you should expect. He's 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but they're still chopping and changing, and everything's new. And the fullback, Dalot and Telles are fucking awful. I
actually thought Dalot was pretty good, and
I thought he was really bad.
Yeah,
he was pissing me off all game.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was just so wasteful. I was like, what's the point? I'm just watching Wan-Bissaka. That's what I felt like.
That's harsh.
No, I mean, he couldn't put in any successful balls. Everything he did in the final, he was in the positions that you want him to be in, but everything he did was bad.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, West Ham basically neutralized it. It's weird because I just said Man U dominated the game, and I do think that that's true, but they didn't.
They absolutely did.
But they didn't really create anything of value except for the winner,
Right,
and
exactly.
I think that was a good job by West Ham, who just double-decker parked. That was
they played how they always
pure Moyes, just nightmare ball. And yeah, so I mean, it's hard to get crosses in against that fucking team, you know.
Yeah.
And like,
no, and I mean, they can't do. They weren't playing 1-2s. I mean, they weren't moving.
Yeah.
They don't just they just don't have the personnel to do that.
From an attacking perspective, you remove the Rashford goal, and it's 0.7, 0.8 xG over the course of a game where you dominate. It's not good.
Yeah,
but
and I mean, it's not like the Villa and the Brenham game, like they were free flowing, creating a lot of chances, even though they got a fucking truck ton of points. He double worked in both those games. But I mean, I mean, Man U are still, I think, getting away with things, and their performances have not been cohesive, and it should take time. I mean, it's been 3 games or 4 games since he's been there and shit.
Yeah, it's been nothing.
So I mean, that's the thing I'm worried about. Even though they do have these good fixtures, like maybe we just see that game again like a few times, and it's just like, okay, they kind of played the game, but what were they trying to do? The players don't know what's happening or what they're supposed to be doing. It's kind of what. And they're just getting, I don't know, I'm rambling.
It's possible.
About this one,
no, I mean, it's possible. And again, like, we have to speculate because that's what fantasy is a lot of the time. I just think in the recent easy fixtures, they've done enough to score multiple goals. That's Brenham, it's Burnley, the Villa, okay. And then you look at the games that are upcoming, I just expect goals to come,
Yeah, no, so, I mean, and
that's it.
And I mean, this was my thinking before the West Ham game too. Obviously, I have him, and I left fucking $5 million in the bank so I could keep him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have done the opposite. I would have left a little bit to do him to Mo or whatever. But so I mean, I'm gonna probably just stick with him for this little run, and hopefully he gets points. But I basically where I'm coming from this is, I don't feel like he's a great buy. Even though they do have a good run. Like unless it's hard really to recommend a buy
because he's 11-6. Like who are you getting rid of? Raz, I guess. Like who are you selling for Bruno?
Because then I'm like, just get another City guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Get Kevin. Like Kevin's better, obviously. Yeah, close.
Yeah, get Kevin. Get Mo. If Mo is going to be back, obviously get Mo ahead of him. It's a weird one to fit in, but I think you're in a good spot. You could be double swapping
Kane, I guess. Yeah. That could be a thing someone might want to do, but
Kane who has Southampton. But I think you're in a really good spot for owning him now. Like I really like your team and I like that pick. I think he's going to get you a lot of points.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah. Speaking of Villa, weird scrappy 1-0. Not very good for their attacking stuff, but you got the Buendia goal. J-Dong said, are you guys still confident in Villa players? My gut says Dean's a trap, but I don't know. And then Jeff D said, how does the most recent Villa match affect your rankings of their players? Villa has a good fixture run and fixtures to make up, so we might want to load up. Nerds say there won't be doubles in 24. So if you only bring in one, who would it be in this moment? Would a double announcement make you want to hit and load up on 3?
They were bad.
Yeah, I
mean, they played well for a half an hour.
Yeah. First half, I thought they were pretty good, and then second half, they were awful.
They had so many bad individual performers in the game. It was astonishing, and they did enough. I mean, they scored a set piece goal. I mean, near post flick. It's like, all right,
they scored a set piece goal that they'll never ever score again. A fucking Buendia like back flick header in the corner. Yeah,
I mean, Coutinho wasn't doing enough.
He was never on the ball. Yeah.
He was just, and he wasn't pressing. I mean, he just wasn't doing enough.
Yeah.
Watkins, doing his normal thing, but I mean, Buendia was a fucking beast. He was the best player by a lot.
So good. That was a great job.
I thought McGinn played really well, but Ramsey I thought was very poor.
Yeah.
He was just so erratic all over the place, and Mings had the worst game I've ever seen him play in my life.
Did he end up on a bonus point? Because I remember at some point he was on one. Yeah.
Of course he did. But
every touch he had was a giveaway.
Every single one. Whether it was a header when no one's near him or just trying to pass. He passed out of bounds at one point. Couldn't even pass the fucking goalkeeper. It was just
crazy.
It was embarrassing.
Really crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Villa were bad. I mean, I think, anyone watching that game, Buendia was by far their best attacker. It wasn't even close. I mean, he was the only player, like he got the ball, he just fucking blew upfield. Like players were bouncing off him. It was nuts. So I'm glad I stuck with my shout
your
there
balls
on
pick.
Buendia. Yeah, my balls pick was of my whole team, he was probably him. He was maybe João Pedro also, because I was kind of talking about it. But
I think I would still go Dean though. To answer Jeff's question,
I don't know why that's a trap.
Yeah, I don't know what about him makes him feel like a trap. I mean, he's on set pieces. Their defense is still pretty good. Like, they played
Ash was pretty good.
Yeah, like they played like shit, and they probably weren't too good for the clean. Everton had a couple big chances, but they were. It's not like they got like fucking destroyed. There were like two chances or something that could have gone in, and we said before that game, like Dean's gonna have a lot of 12-pointers, and then for literal first game of the good run, he has a 12-pointer. I mean, I still think Dean's just such a good pick.
Yeah, and it's again, right? I mean, this isn't like a City defender who you just start no matter what, and every fixture is good. I mean, but they have a good run, so if you want Dean, you have to get him now.
Yeah, you gotta get him now.
They have a really good run now, and then it's a little medium, and then they finish up the season with a pretty good run. And their two doubles, like we mentioned, are Burnley and Leeds. So
good.
They get to play Burnley twice and Leeds twice. So Dean's still a very attacking fullback, and the set pieces. Yeah, he's. I mean, I think him and Buendia are like 1A and 1B of their assets.
Yeah,
they're both Watkins. Good. I still, similar, like why I didn't have him is just I feel like he's just like a process of elimination pick because the other forwards are so bad. Yeah. I mean, he's not like taking that step forward as an FPL asset this season at all. And
it also just seems like, I mean, this is sort of like a very broad statement, but I just feel like it takes teams longer to click offensively than defensively. In general.
And they have a new manager.
Yeah, just new manager. Whether it's Ralph, whether it's Stevie, like whatever it is. Even like, when Klopp first got there, everything, like it's easier to teach people to like run through brick walls and give their all and press and be tight and be compact than it is to like have actual like free flowing attacking moves and all that stuff. So we always said on here that it's a leap of faith that they're gonna score goals and win games and shit, but the defense was already pretty good in the difficult fixtures. They already put in some really good performances. So that one was an easier one. But yeah, we didn't see anything, literally nothing from this game attacking wise to be like, they're going to score goals in these upcoming games. Like nothing, nothing.
It was just Buendia.
Just Buendia.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Phil doesn't even start the next game.
Yeah, well, it's so far away. I mean, and we have the difficult one with them coming back from the thing. So.
Yeah, true. It
is another even doubly odd one where they're coming back from the thing, but their game isn't the weekend. Like that's their fucking dumb cup game. So they do have like that extra time. So then
they have
it's
a little
be like,
extra wiggle room. Yeah.
What is the manager of the team like prioritizing, or is he gonna like, he's gonna play him for the cup because it's more? I mean, I don't even. It's just a nightmare.
If I had to guess, I'd say like Stevie will respect the cup and take it seriously. But
it's just a mess. But yeah, Coutinho was really bad. That was too bad. But the other game was weird. I mean, Everton did wake up in the second half, and they definitely
Everton were good. Yeah, in the second half,
good for a goal. In the second half, they just I mean, DCL did a couple things.
There were a couple DCL moments. I was like actually shocked he didn't score there. Yeah,
he's just still rusty. But
Everton,
I think I mean, we have some Everton fans on Discord who are just like the world is ending tomorrow.
Suicidal.
They're going to be fine. They're obviously going to stay up. Their team's too good to not stay up. I think so. They'll be fine.
I think so.
I mean, they'll be fine. It's, they're just
if they lose at Newcastle in 24, alarm bells will be rung.
They'll be fine.
Yeah. What about the Pod Derby? Liverpool Palace Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun game. I mean, all of my team's games are fun this year. But
what a fucking treat that is.
Yeah.
First of all,
I mean, I've been paying for it for years.
8 years of not fun for this.
Like we've been talking about game of two halves.
Yeah.
But I mean, on balance, probably a score draw would have been a more fair representation of how the game played. But the players we have are the players we have, and the players you have are the players you have. So I'm not upset that we lost the game at all.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could have scored more goals. I mean, we had the chances in the first half that your team created for us that we fucked up. I mean, we scored one goal. It's our own fault.
Yeah.
And it's annoying that the penalty is like everyone's talking about the penalty. It's like whatever. Then okay, we would have lost 2-1. Like whatever.
Yeah,
you know, it was instead of talking more about the performance.
It was the 90th minute.
yeah. It's annoying how those things detract from like having good conversation about the game
about
itself,
a great game that was really exciting. Yeah.
I mean, you must have enjoyed it. Winning.
I mean, I enjoyed when the final whistle happened. That was very enjoyable for me. But the rest of the game, I was fucking shitting bricks. It was a nightmare.
Except for the first 20, 30 minutes.
The first 30 minutes was genuinely some of the best we played all season.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, we're a machine. This is 5. Yeah. I mean, you were even saying in like Discord, you were like, oh, this is over. This is like a 5-0. Like, what? This is like, and then we kind of imploded. But, see why I said, well, there's all these questions about Mo, but I just wrote in Discord, I was like, listen, like it's over 2 weeks away. We don't even know if he's going to be back. So like, I'm going to skip these questions. We'll do them in 2 weeks. But see why I said, do you think Mo coming back impacts Robbo? And then Chester, another Robbo question. He said he's only 4% owned. Just as attacking as like a Matto on a way better team, has a massive clean sheet potential. Attacking prowess may go down with Mo and Mane back. Do you expect Poole to keep cleans? And Robbo, I feel like we've been saying for weeks, is like, that's the third.
I fucking had him on my team before the red card. I mean, I had him for like a few games before the red card.
Yeah, I think he's clearly the third guy you would want.
Yeah, he's definitely better than Jota. I mean, Jota's, a goal a game kind of guy. He fucks too much shit up to not be that, and he's more expensive. So, Robbo, he's definitely a fantastic pick. I don't think that, the good players coming back is a negative on him. He's just, I don't
understand those questions.
It's not like they're rebalancing and doing everything different, and everything's going through Robbo and then it's going to stop when Mo and Mane go. He was just really unfit and fucked up beginning of the season. Like from the Euros, it was very obvious, right? He was missing games. Like he was getting subbed. I mean, we all were watching and could see it. And, since he came back, around that Southampton game, around game week 13, he's just been reverting back to what he's been for the last 4 years or whatever, since Klopp's gotten there, basically. So, I mean, he's just a really good FPL asset. There's a reason why he started at 7 million, right? I mean, there aren't a lot of defenders that are 7 million players in the game. So, he's a great pick. So if he's
already on 8 assists. That's fucking insane. Yeah, great pick. I don't have much to add there. I mean, the most stuff, like I said, we'll just see, sort of. But
when he should play. I mean, he should be back. It's especially with the cup in the weekend. I mean, it's even an extra couple days.
I think it basically depends how far they go. Yeah.
Yeah. But even if they make the final, I mean, it's still over a week. I mean, maybe he does need a genuine, time off. Who knows? Yeah. But like you're saying, absolutely. We'll talk about it on the next
the
pod.
third place game and the final are Sunday, February 6th. And their match is Thursday, February 10th.
Yeah.
So,
tight.
That's kind of, he'll probably miss that game if they go that far. That would be my guess. But anywhere earlier than that, he'll probably play. Yeah, maybe on the bench, something like that. What other games should we talk about?
But I mean, if he is back, I mean, it's just get him back in. He's still the best player, like home Leicester, captainable, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mow out for Kev Cap, and I'll probably, it's too early to say, but I might be capping Kev again in 24, but I'm going to have to do some major surgery if Mo's back on the menu and to get him back in, which is always the risk of transferring him out in general. But I just went aggressive. I guess I didn't talk about my move. I just decided to go aggressive. Like the most impactful move I can make was to bring in a guy who I'm going to captain as opposed to, mount to someone I don't really think they're that good and don't want them in my team. Or Sufalda Dean obviously would have paid off, but even that, I didn't expect it clean. I may have not even started him. It didn't feel good. So we'll see how I get back Mo, but that's going to be an issue for me.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that hard, but we'll figure it out next pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have options.
What other games do you want to talk about, or should we just do some questions?
Yeah, let's do some questions.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
It's a chill vibes episode with with a 2-week break incoming. Micro said, I think it was you guys that said if Mahrez was assured starts, he'd be the best pick of the bunch. With Raz seeming a bit out of it, can a punt on him be advised for restless guys who want to win cup matches?
No, I mean, I still don't think that's a good pick. He's just not going to play that consistently. I would prefer Foden. We don't even know if Mara's his first choice. We know Foden's first choice.
It's like completely random.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you are just punting the world away.
Yeah. And he's not cheap. You know, I mean, he could start one in the next 4, you know, and we'd be like, yeah, of course, it's Mahrez. Like, they're all fit again. So I wouldn't go there. For
an optimist view, he could start 3 in a row out of nowhere and just be the best thing ever.
And score 30 points. Yes. Yeah, I mean, he does that all the time.
But it's a complete, absolute punt in every sense of the word.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that at all.
I don't approve. Gub said Tierney, yay or nay? I
was actually just wanting. I think Tierney's just not a good player, but I actually wanted to talk about that game too, as you were talking about that City question. I mean, I was like kind of alarm bells with Arsenal watching that game. I mean, they probably should have scored a goal.
Yeah,
Laka's.
I mean, they got Burnley. I know they got Burnley.
I mean, I know they got Burnley, but it's just watching how like frustrated they got. Like they were like tilting off so hard.
Yeah.
And it was just, they didn't trust the process.
Yeah.
And they started snatching at stuff, you know? Like it was a really like uncomposed performance, which, you know, granted they're all like 20 or whatever, fine. But it was upsetting. I mean, first and foremost, Burnley got points. You hate to see that. They got a point.
Absolutely hate to see it.
But I don't know. I mean, Saka was getting kicked up and down and it just,
it was really that? Red card shout that didn't get red carded.
I don't know. I mean, there were a lot of yellow cards. Westwood should have had like 3 or 4 yellow cards.
I think it was Westwood.
He somehow had 1. I don't know how that always seems to happen with Burnley.
Yeah, stamps all over the place. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it felt like the game. It felt like Arteta deserves to get that hung on his neck. Like I feel like he did not get them like playing the right way against Burnley. Like they just got dragged down into it.
The thing that I really didn't like, that was something we talked about in Discord while it was happening, was leaving yourself with no subs. Like just playing a weird formation that they kind of never play to accommodate for an extra attacker, to then only have Nketiah on the bench and just like no ability to change anything. But I don't know how much that would have changed the actual outcome. I mean, they completely dominated. They had 20 shots. They just had no big chances. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, which is a big deal.
Which is a huge deal, but it's also
the way they played.
That's Burnley at their best, right? It's like concede shots. Pope makes some worldy saves. They block everything else. They foul you. They're a nightmare. Yeah. They frustrate you.
I mean, and I guess that's what happened. But and I'm just despondent that this is the 132nd time that we've seen this happen, and it's just so not fun to watch because it wasn't football.
It's awful.
One good thing though is, I mean, watching this Burnley performance, I don't know how they ever score a goal if it's not off a corner, which they probably won't even be able to win more than 3 or 4 a game. They have no goals in this team other than Cornet.
Yeah.
So they're fucked. They are really fucked.
They have some money for the Wood thing, and maybe they kind of have to sign a striker.
I saw they were sniffing around Benteke.
Oh my God. I mean, that makes sense.
But Benteke, I think, didn't want to go or something. I don't know.
Who would ever want to go there?
I know. I mean, he'd rather be a backup on fucking Palace living in London than go to Burnley and deal with that fucking mess.
Completely agree.
Fucks. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we're going to get it. I'm really getting genuinely hopeful that Burnley are going to go down this year.
Yeah, it might really happen. I mean, they
before I was just saying it because it's like if I say it 3 times, it'll happen or whatever. Yeah. But I feel like it genuinely is going to happen this year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it depends so much on if they hit on whatever signings they end up making. Like if they get a decent striker and a decent like midfielder, I could see them staying up and just Burnleying their way to random points and cleans and shit. But if they just end up not spending the money or getting, someone bad, which is like most likely, there's just like nothing there. There's like nothing there.
The other thing too is, hearing you talking about that, and then the other thing I was saying is like typical Burnley, they win this game. They don't draw this game. Like when they do this to the enemy and they can't create a big chance, that they get the Ashley Barnes on the counter thing. They win this game. If they're not winning this game, They could have been playing this game for fucking 500 minutes. They would not have scored a goal.
No chance of a goal.
Ridiculous.
Except for Rammers Howler, they had no chances at all.
I mean, Rammers would have to fucking throw the ball in his own net.
Yeah,
like,
which, you know.
But watching that is like, okay, like this team is not, and this is an Arsenal that was playing with one DM. His name's Sambi. You know, I mean, he's fucking barely a DM. He's whatever. He's playing fucking White and fullback. I mean, the team was a mess. The Arsenal team was a mess. They could not even get remotely near it. So that was the other thing that was giving me a lot of excitement for Burnley going down. It makes sense, right?
I mean, they gotta go down.
They gotta go.
You think it's them, Norwich, Watford?
Yeah.
Or does Woy shift that?
I don't think so. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Woy is a good signing.
No, he's fantastic. But I do genuinely believe that the Watford squad is disgusting. Like the midfield is so it's embarrassing. The midfield's embarrassing. I mean, granted, Woy's done more with less.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is late. You know, it's late in the fucking season.
We have a very exciting top 4 race and a very exciting relegation battle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do feel like Newcastle can get out of it. I mean, that would be the only other team that realistically would be able to go down. And I just think that they're better than Watford. I mean, maybe Norwich. I don't know what Norwich are doing. I don't know how they're winning games the last couple of weeks.
Newcastle should be signing like a center back who's better than any of these teams has.
But all they keep doing is being linked with the fucking attackers.
Yeah, I don't know. Eddie strikes again.
Yeah, Eddie. I mean, we went down with Bournemouth with all attackers. So he knows how to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the most perverse scenario in my mind is Brentford going down, which I would love. I mean,
they're so bad. What about Frank's freak out after the game? Hysterical. Frank red card.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you like the guy. Like, how do you defend the guy? It's like the minute things start going downhill, he just acts like he's a fucking toddler. Like he's 3 years old. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, he had that post game after the Man United game.
Yeah, same deal. He's fucking throwing Sancho under the bus for going to a funeral. It's like, excuse me?
Yeah, what?
what?
Baking powder.
Yeah, I mean, he has no answers. They look very so lost. Bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, the
Tony goal was fucking insane, but yeah.
I mean, whatever. I mean, this is the main thing is with Brentford is like, with Burnley is watching them is terrible. Like same with like Sheffield United last year. It's like when you're watching the games and they're actually just not fun, then those are the teams I want to go down.
Yeah, always. I'll always root for those teams to go down. And Burnley, who are injuring players left and right, like get the fuck out of the league. No interest. No FPL options. No fun watching their games. Like bad for the players. Like a dangerous team. Like it's just awful all around.
But that McNeil, what a left foot.
Magic wand. Fucking hell.
So 1 goal every 3,000 minutes.
Yeah.
That he's really knocking on the door for an England call. Yeah. With that left foot. It's like they have to fucking mention the 9-0 every South End.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
Dwight
the same
McNeil.
Thing. It's the same thing.
Oh my God.
We got Tony and Shut Up Luke asking about Edouard. You're allowed. He said returns in 3 of the last 4. Could have braced against Liverpool. They have at Norwich, at Brentford, home Chelsea, home Burnley next 4, and could have a double game week with Watford thrown in there. Seems like a real option to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not excited by him. He gets subbed a lot.
Yeah, he does.
He's just still not. You know, he's still finding his feet. You know, I mean, he's got a few goals the last few games, but anyways, he's kind of lightweight, and I don't know. He confused. He kind of cooks my cooks. I feel like he
struggles to like get in the game.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's also constantly being switched from like left to central. Like,
yeah, he does play a lot of roles.
I don't know if he's playing on the right, but even just doing that, like for him, just trying to figure out how like the football in this country works. You know, he's still getting up to speed with the league, I think, very much. And every game is like posing very different, unique challenges, like based on the opposition, the center backs and shit. And, you know, I just feel like he's still like figuring it out. And I mean, inconsistency, you should expect inconsistency, but I don't love the subbing. I think that's, I mean, especially me. I mean, that's always been like a pet peeve of mine.
Red
like
flag,
when you have a guy that gets that, barely makes it past the 70-minute mark, I hate that, especially in strikers. So, but he's 6'4".
I mean, his underlyings are very good. Like his non-penalty XG per 90 is 0.43.
No, and I mean
2.5 shots a game. Like it's really good.
Yeah, no, it is. I also am very concerned for his security of start. I mean, once the guy's back, Ayew is back, and with the emergence of Elise is
so fucking good.
Playing like he's playing.
That second half against Liverpool, he was so good.
He's a really good player. So it's not going to, I mean, even Benteke's still there, you're not going to be, and Mateta's been playing really well actually the last couple of games. So
out of nowhere,
very much out of nowhere. But so Edward, there's a lot of those things that I'm just like, I mean, I don't know. Is it really worth it?
Too much of a punt, you think?
Know. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a punt, but everyone in that price range is sort of a punt. And it is only really two good fixtures, like at Norwich and at Brenham's not really that good because at home they're a different team. I mean that's a very unpredictable game. Norwich have been playing good defense. I just we're okay, but then we have a tough run. I'm not too into Edward, honestly.
Good to know. And then Chester, last question. You said, would you rather have 2 City mids or 2 City defenders?
Well, I mean, I answered that on my wild card. I have 2 defenders.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean. They have these next 2, home Brenham at Norwich. You definitely want attackers. If there's one of these games, they're going to score like 4+ or something, which seems kind of likely. That'd be cool. But for the long haul, when Champions League is going to be back and blah blah blah, rotation's going to be heavy. They have 80 million forwards fit. Yeah, I think the 2 defenders is the way to go.
Yeah,
2 defenders and Kev feels really good.
Yeah, and they don't have doubles, so. I mean, you're spending less money on the team, which is also nice.
Yep, I agree.
And they also just fucking chill. Like they play these games, they just chill.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't like the Sané Raz year when they're just scoring actually 6 every game.
Yeah.
So
it's like every once in a while they'll do like 4 or something. But I feel like most of their wins are 1 or 2-0s. Yeah.
Yeah. So defense is good.
Yeah, I agree. That's it. Question wise.
Okay.
Quiet pod. It's a quiet time. There's like I don't know, not a calm before the storm, a fucking nightmare before the storm on this pod. 2 weeks off.
I mean, 2 weeks off. This season's just.
It's such a momentum killer.
There's so many things. And dude, what the fuck are we gonna do next year when this stupid thing is in the winter? Are we gonna
World Cup?
Yeah, we're obviously doing World Cup pods.
I can't believe that's fucking happening.
I thought that was gonna get blood moneyed out or something.
No, blood money always wins. House always wins. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think we'll just go FPL pods straight into World Cup pods, straight into FPL pods, which is just ridiculous.
I can't wait to see how the game fucks
It's going to be so bad.
They're going to
everything's
create
fucked.
New.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even really talk about it. They're just like, hey, here's a second free hit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that? They're just like, let's just.
They never communicate with us ever, and then they just new free hit, and everyone's getting hacked and shit.
That actually I think is incredible.
I don't mind it.
I actively love it. I think that should be happening more.
Don't make your password Ronaldo 6969, and you should be good.
But it's also like these. I mean, I don't know anything about it.
It's like the third-party sites, right?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that there are third-party sites that make money pisses me off. Because seriously. Think about what do they offer you? This is what they offer you.
It's like an app that like looks nicer than the FPL app. Like I don't really know, but yeah.
But they add little colored squares underneath the player's name on the team page.
Okay.
And then it updates the score like 3 hours faster. It's like, do you need that in your life?
That seems really worth it to me.
But why do you need that?
You don't need that.
Nobody needs any of these things. Yeah. Like, we get it. The FPL site doesn't work and it's a piece of shit. Like, do you need the information up your ass every second as the thing? It's like, Dude, we're watching. You just
it's
watch the
bad
fucking
for
games.
mental health for sure.
Enjoy watching the game. The bonus points, yeah, they adjust at the whatever. Mings is the worst player in the game. He gets bonus point, whatever. But
yeah,
you fucking go wank to these third-party sites. They make all their advertising money, and then you get your fucking team. You're on a minus 9,000 when you check it on Monday. Go get fucked. Just get fucked. Return to simplicity.
It's so funny.
Put your fucking password with number signs and asterisks in the regular game and just fucking let it happen. It's slow. It's slow. Deal with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's slow.
Yeah.
It updates in a few hours after the thing instead of the second after the thing. It's okay. It's the same number.
There's also free sites like Live FPL and shit. If you're really desperate to like check your rank and stuff, great site. Like you just go to the website, you put in your team number, your FPL ID, get your rank. Good to go.
Don't get hacked.
Don't get hacked. You don't have to log in. You don't have to give them your password.
Could you imagine? I mean, I couldn't even imagine giving my password to anything to anyone for any of my anything in my life, other than like my wife. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
like the concept. Imagine like if you're like, it's like, I mean, this is like the most important thing in our lives.
We certainly spend more time on this than anything else. Yeah.
It's like, could you imagine? It's like you go to your bank account and you're like, oh, Charles Sharp. They're like, oh yeah, we need your bank account information, like your routing numbers, your password to your thing. Like, like, oh yeah, here, just take it. You can just manage it for me.
Your mother's maiden name, your first roommate, your pet's name.
It's like,
I guess. Here's everything. Yeah, it's a nightmare, but you know. Good luck.
I hope I get hacked.
Good luck to those people. You might.
Please hack me, daddy.
It's like it'd be freeing. Imagine you're on a minus 9,000. So freeing.
Well, did you see what their answer is? This is as we make it up as they go along.
Maxed out on 20 transfers, right?
Bam.
Or is it minus 20 or is it 20 transfers?
No, 20 transfers.
Why the fuck would it ever be 20 transfers?
Well, what would you have them do instead?
I mean, 10 transfers, 5 transfers even is not crazy.
If you get a minus like 80, then you're fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're still interested.
You could still win your mini league on a minus 80. That's what they're thinking right now. Like, that's not going to fuck your season completely. Like, who's ever actually made 20 transfers in a week?
I don't. Well, the other thing too about it is they not only make all these transfers, but they change your name to like suck dicks or something. Like with all of this nonsense. I respect
that a lot.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you think? Say they do it to a few people. Like if you email the game, you're like, hey, like check out what happened.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh no, you probably did this all by yourself. Like, why couldn't they just be like, oh yeah, you got hacked. Like here, your shit's back to what it was yesterday.
I mean,
they can't do that
because if I had a nightmare, I would just get a VPN to Russia, change my name to suck all the dicks, fuck your mother. Make 5 million transfers and be like, oh, what? I got fucking had everyone on Twitter, all of our followers petitioning at official FPL, like, oh, Juan got had, not fair, like bad for the game, like.
Meanwhile, you just like transferred out Rudiger instead of Alonso. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
I kept Kai, not Mo. Fucking suck dicks, die. It's good strategy. God. Good tactics. Well, I mean, listen, that's basically a podcast because we're not going to talk about our fucking teams. We're certainly not going to talk about our captains.
So, I mean, we're going to pod next Sunday
or Monday. Yeah, one of the two.
We shouldn't do Monday because it's Tuesday. We should do Sunday.
Okay, so Sunday Tuesday morning. The 6th.
Yeah.
God, that is so fucking far.
And we'll do it My Life like we normally do.
And we'll do it My Life. And, actually the My Life is probably just a normal pod because it's like a little bit of a pile up again. Because then it's a new game week on Saturday.
Yeah, but we're going to release it as a My Life, right?
I don't know. Whatever. Well, I don't even know. That's too far away to even speculate.
I want to deprive the people.
Make them want more. I mean,
I'm feeling...
Speaking
right
of the people, we got so many new signups for the cup. We have so many asses to slap.
Dude, honestly, the people. I mean, we still, we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't. We say this every few months, but it's not true.
Very true. Yeah.
I mean, when seeing the amount of people in the cup was like eye-opening to me. And I mean, I mentioned it to Lauren and she's like, did you get the diapers? I'm like, great. She doesn't give a fuck about me. But I mean, having this many people, it is really, we do really appreciate all the support from you guys. And we really do thank you so much for chipping in a few bucks to keep us in our bevies here while we pod in Pod Central. But it does mean a lot, I mean, it is really, really nice and it makes us feel good and keeps us going. So
and really I hope I hope everyone's enjoying the cup. James did a fucking insane job. The spreadsheet is so good. It updates automatically. It's fucking amazing. You don't even have to give him your password.
As long as you give him your password, you get access. And we hope you've been enjoying the content,
Yeah, true.
Content. We're just content.
We're just content creators out here.
That's all we do. We suck at the game.
Speaking of content creators, let me slap asses. Here we got Stan Sports, Louis, Seb Fox, Vibe Have, Matt Lowe, Benjamin Barassa, Dave Pinder Sugawara, Dave Thompson, Michael Atkins, FPL Gattaca, J Deep Dashi, Dimitar Nikolov, Jay Jestat, Steve Musk, Owen Moore, Morton, Matt Thompson, Mark Monis, Dave Adams, Kane White, Paul, Sebastian Fredholm, Neelanch Fison, Jordan, Michael McElroy, Joey Jr. Shabadoo, Satha James, Kurt Dixon, Brendan, Justin Hammond, Peps Palookas, Sam Walters, Henrik, and Adam McKenzie Ona. Get on there, baby. Slap that ass. Welcome. And thank you.
All right.
And that's what you call a podcast, folks.
All right.
See you in 2 weeks, brother.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Not this time. Not this time. Check us out at fmlfield.com. Follow us on Twitter at fmlfield. Support the page.com/fmlfield. Subscribe, rate, review.